Every problem that you have is not necessarily like bad at the end of the day because you learn from it. Like it's things that happen and we like, damn, we lost a lot of money right there. But like we're not gonna lose no money right there again because we're not gonna make the same mistakes that we ultimately made at the beginning.
How we look at problems in our business, we look at ourselves like firefighters. At that point, like the sirens ringing, we coming with the fire hose, put them.
When we tackle problems, be excited about it. Like as an entrepreneur, you gotta be excited about problems that you're facing. Let's jump straight into this video because we got a special guest that's gonna come on here and he's gonna ask us a bunch of different questions. We also gonna feedback off those questions to talk about how you that's watching this video can actually start and build your brand that you're building today, right, Ma?
Yep, but hey, let's welcome Trillionaire Trip. But before we get into those gems, let's allow them to know who you are, bro. Like tell them, you know, who you are, what your brand stands for, and what you do.
For sure. So I'm Trillionaire Trip, the owner of Trillionaires Only, the brand that I created to inspire and motivate others to be the trillest versions of themselves, whether they're chasing their biggest dream or fighting their toughest battle. So I started this brand when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer last year, and I was thinking of ways to reinvent myself and just thinking of how I wanted to leave a legacy. And lo and behold, I came across y'all on YouTube because I knew a clothing brand was a way that I wanted to go. And I came across y'all and I've been locked in ever since, man. I started watching y'all content on YouTube, then it transitioned to the Facebook group, and then it got me to the inner circle, and then now we're here.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. And can you just like share maybe what that transformation been like, you know, like from, you know, just getting started, from even with the process of like, man, I didn't even know that you know, got cancer. Like I wouldn't be able to tell. So like, what was that process like to like now starting your brand and being in the inner circle?
It was definitely a journey. It was definitely a journey. And there was a lot of things that I had to just really think about as far as how I wanted to go forward. And so just listening to y'all and just grabbing the free game that y'all dropped really propelled me to that state quicker. So like I said, it's a new brand. I'm less than a year old, and I've already done so much because of y'all. So taking that free game, like I've already gotten my t-shirts. Like I started on Shopify, and that's when I realized that, okay, I can do dope designs here, but Shopify was taking all my money with all the printing and the t-shirts and stuff like that. So then when I got into the inner circle and I took the course, that's when I was able to find, get my account on SNS Activewear. And then I was able to find a local screen printer that dropped the cost down.
Yes.
And now like I'm starting to see like the fruits of the labor for that. And it's not overnight. So you know what I'm saying? I understand that it's a building block approach. And it's been a lit journey so far, man. It's been a lit journey.
Definitely. But the biggest thing I heard you say is that quickness. Because with the we always say, bro, with information, you're able to attack what you're trying to do quicker. Because it's gonna be tough if you don't hang around and be around and get information from people that you actually wanna be like or build something like, or build something even bigger than. So I like that you talked about like the quickness of being able to, once you get that information, now you're able to break everything down and do things the way that at first you thought you was doing it right, but now you got the way that you're really doing it right because you're getting better costs. Right now, you're able to increase that profit margin and make more money.
Yep. So, like, what are some of those things that you're struggling with now that we can be in the answer?
So, just getting the back end together. So, of course, like, I got the face. Like, I have, like, my core values. I got my mission statement together. I got my designs. Like, I got a bunch of designs that I'm sitting on. But I'm trying to figure out how to strategically roll this out. Because I don't want to just be like, here's everything I got and put it all on my website. Because that was the first thing I did. I had, like, 50 products on my website. And when I first got into that 3-day seminar that y'all gave, I was like, oh, that's too much. Focus on one thing. So now the one thing that I'm focusing on is the one color t-shirts, which is these. So like, how can I guess, go to the next thing?
Mm-hmm. I say from my perspective, it ain't about really going to the next thing quick like that. It really is about telling your story. So it's like, you gotta make a piece of content almost every single day, like telling your story. Like if you, like basically by you telling me your story at the beginning of this video, like now it's making me tune in more with your brand because I want to know more about the person that's running the brand. That's just how businesses are built in this day and age. Like it's like people, it's like what we talked about on a couple of videos ago. It was like some people would rather work for Mr. Beast over they work for Coke, over them working for Coke because now Mr. Beast have built like a personal brand that's like just big in this day and time. Like everybody on TikTok now. You get what I mean? Everybody watching short form content. Everybody watching video. You see how Instagram transformed from photos to videos. Yeah. So at this time, like it's best to tell your story and make your t-shirt more than just a t-shirt.
Right.
So like what you gotta start thinking about is like, how can you build something around this shirt that doesn't make it just a shirt? And I challenge you to produce a piece of content on Instagram at least every day, produce some on TikTok multiple times a day, and get better at it. Like, and if you're not getting that engagement that you want, you got to figure out why you're not getting that engagement that you want, and you got to figure out how to get that engagement that you want.
Sure.
And then that's by just going out there and seeing what's already working, bro, and just using your niche and your style and your voice to be able to create content just like that, but of yours, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for me, like more on, you know, the physical standpoint of it, like one, like he said, great advice. We shouldn't be thinking about even changing it right now at the phase that you are. Even, think about this, even big brands don't change things like that. Wendy's introduced the 4 for 4. Guess what? They still got the 4 for 4, and just about everybody else got a 4 for 4 too.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like, you know, think that you gotta leave away from what's already working. You need to just continue to double down on it. And what I mean by that is like, boom, you get these, even though now you got different colors with this same design. Let's just say you ran that for a whole year. Now you like, okay, I gravitated, I got my own audience now. I got 100K followers. I done sold this one piece. Now how can I take this one piece and go collaborate it with other brands? And now I'm gonna go get their reach. So now I'm gonna take the same main design that I got, but now I'm gonna go put a school logo under here. And now I'm gonna make it fit to what they got going. The same design. So you could still like, just think about ways to re-innovate the same thing that you got going. And then you'll have enough money and enough data to go test out new things. Because when you go into doing new products, you testing.
Right.
Like right now, you making money with that. Like why would you take away something the way you making money to go invest in something that you think gonna make money?
Right.
So it's almost like when we have one stream of income, we focus on building multiple streams of income. But when we get to that second stream of income, we forget about the first, which ultimately leads us to one stream of income all over again. You get what I mean? So I would start like Supreme ain't never leave the Supreme box. Like that's their most valuable piece that they ever created, no matter how many new pieces they make. So it's like you gotta make this piece the most valuable piece, and this piece gonna be the one that stay on your site basically forever. Even with us, bro, like in our business, like we wasn't even noticing that, like, you know, some of our sales was dropping because we wasn't keeping that same piece. But when we put that same piece back, like now sales going crazy again. It's because they want that original piece that you created when you first started the brand.
Yep, and not to say that when you watch this, like, cause like, man, we grow so much every day. So like, not to say that that's gonna change, but what we learn is that you don't determine that change. The market determines that change. Like you don't decide like, oh, this the next piece, the hottest, this my number one. Like the people gonna be like that, this your number one. So that's another thing that we learn, because like a lot of times we base, you know, our decisions off what we want.
What we think.
Yeah, for sure. So my next question is, what's a good problem to have for a brand? Like early on in this, where I'm at, for instance.
I got two good ones. Or not having merchandise, but not saying that you're not getting merchandise for not having it. As in like everything that you're getting, you like, man, I got 100 shirts, and all gone. Then I got 300 shirts, and all was gone. Then I got 1,000, it's gone. I'm like, bro, that's a good problem. So now what that's telling me is you need access to just more funds. So now it's either where we about to have to figure out strategically how we do this. Do we raise this through our customer base, or do we go out and maybe utilize a credit card, figure out a way to get a credit line, figure out a way to get a partner, a silent investor to go out and fund the merchandise? I ain't saying you gotta go give up a piece of your company, but if you could get your merchandise funded and now you pay, you know, your mom, sister, brother, investor, other people that you know that's running businesses back, when you gotta pay them, now you could get more inventory, which allows you to make more money to double back down on getting more inventory.
I even say like, even the bad problems could be considered good problems if you look at it from a different perspective. Cause like, you always gonna learn something from things that you fail at. And you never gonna make them same mistakes. I remember I seen like a video and they were talking about like, you never fire an employee for doing something extremely bad, because what's gonna happen the next time that come around, they're not gonna make that same mistake. So like, even with you inside of your business, like, that's a great problem to have, what Marlon said. Like if you every 100 shirts you get and they selling out like this, that's a great problem to have. But at the same time, let's just say you order packages from Uline, you know, at $1.50 a piece, And then next thing you know, you find more packages for 50 cents. The problem was that you was getting packages at $1.50, but now you knowing that this the price that I was getting it for. Now if I'm getting it better than this, then I'm saving money and I'm making more money. So like now you're getting packages at 50 cents. So it's like every problem that you have is not necessarily like bad at the end of the day because you learn from it. Like it's things that happen in our business all the time. They be like, damn, we lost a lot of money right there. Yep. But like we're not gonna lose no money right there again because we're not gonna make the same mistakes that we ultimately made at the beginning.
Yep, and just being in a circle, that's a crazy thing. You tell me, entrepreneurs do what? Entrepreneurs
solve problems for profit.
Come on, see, right there, it's right there. Like, and I'm gonna put you on the spot with it's right there. So like when you hit like, you know, how we look at problems in our business, we look at ourselves like firefighters. Yes. At that point, like the sirens ringing, woo, woo, woo. We coming with the fire hose, putting it on.
And we coming happy to solve them problems. Like we're not looking at problems like mad about it. Like we joke, like when we tackle problems, like we excited about it. Like as an entrepreneur, you gotta be excited about problems that you're facing.
For real. I can dig that.
Crazy. Hey, look, if you're enjoying this right now, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, run us up. We appreciate everybody that's been with us. All right, man, we're gonna be approaching 100K subscribers, man. Woo, we are almost done, so we need everybody to continue to run us up. We appreciate y'all.
All right, so my next question, man, is gonna be focused towards like telling the story, getting the confidence to just walk up to strangers and tell your story. What are some things that y'all did to perfect that process and just to make it normal to where you don't feel like you're just walking up being weird and being awkward? Just, hey, this is my brand, this is my story, XYZ. How did y'all?
I say the first thing, bro, is about belief. And what I mean by that is like believing in one, what you're selling, what you're doing, and what your mission is. Like at the end of the day, it's easy for me to share my story because I'm telling my truth and what actually happened. Two, I'm telling something that I truly believe in and that something that I was a part of, because like our mission is that we provide original designs and branded fashion to urban youth who feel stagnant and trapped by what the environment tells them what they can or cannot do. And the reason why I'm able to be passionate about that mission is because that was me. Like I was the teen that was, even though I knew I wanted to be successful, I didn't know like how to be successful, what at success I was gonna be, even though I had goals, it's just like, so I still felt stagnant, we still felt trapped in a box, especially coming from like New Orleans, we really don't see it's not like a lot of other resources and things that you see. Like all we do is play sports. So that's all I really knew. So I was allowed, the opportunity to play sports, which now exposed us. I started traveling, going to different cities, seeing different things. And I realized that there was more stuff out here. And then, it was just information that was keeping us away from that. And when we got to that, when we started getting information, then we realized, well, dang, like we got to go out here and share the same thing that we got, because we realized how more aware we became. Like think about the time when you wasn't, involved in the community or being in the community, like people probably experience these things. Like when you have high, deep level conversations, like your awareness, like you just it's like something, it's like your programming, like you getting like somebody downloading something inside of you or something. Like people know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like crazy. So that's the things that started to happen to us, and we just like kept going with it. So that's why it's easy for us to stand in front of our booth and be like, come put our merch on, because we know that is bigger than just the merch. All right, I'm sorry I gotta interrupt this video, but if you haven't checked out our monthly workshop, you are literally missing out. We have transformed over 500 brands and minds inside of this 3-day workshop. On day one, we're gonna be covering design. We're gonna be giving you our design process to take your designs to the next level. On day two, we're gonna cover marketing. So we're gonna show you how to set up and run Facebook ads. We're gonna show you how to create content. And on day three, we're gonna give you the scale up. We're gonna give you the play on how to set up your pop-up shops, how to set up your distribution to do over $10,000 a month. You don't want to miss this. If you're ready to continue to scale your brand, literally all I need you to do is click the link in the description. It won't take long, and we'll go ahead and see you in that workshop. Let's get back into the video.
Mm-hmm. And I say you never really run up to somebody and like tell them your story. It's almost like it just gotta be like organic. Like I always say, even with relationship building, like you never want to like force a relationship. It's just organic relationships. You get what I mean? So like even when we talk about selling, you gotta sell without selling. Like when you go on, Canal Street, or when you go like to a place and you're going on like a main street where they know a lot of tourists at, they got people that probably run up to you like, yo, buy this shirt, 2 for $25, but for you, 2 for 15. You don't buy stuff like that. Yeah. Like, but stuff that you buy like, you'll look at something in the window and be like, well, them jeans hard, or them jeans fly, or them jeans nice, and you walk in there, try them on, now you in the mirror saying, oh yeah, you convincing yourself to buy them, basically. So that's how you really, that's how like brands go crazy, because the customer convinced themselves to buy the product that they selling. So like whenever you telling your story, it's really just like having a setup for one, like setting up a pop-up, like how we do, like we said, we get a table, we got our merch, maybe have like a banner with your story, and then really you just, as people looking and considering to come see what you got, that's when you start to introduce your story to them. Sure. And then like Marlon saying, like once you do it over and over and over again, it's gonna become an organic thing. It's gonna become because it's your story. Like It ain't like, only way you're not able to, seriously tell your story if you're not telling your story. Like if you're telling something that's you just made up, then it's gonna be tough because you're trying to remember it. But if it's something that you didn't went through, something that you're really doing seriously, it shouldn't be hard to talk about. It's like what we talking about right now. Like it's not hard for me to answer these questions because this is what we talk about all day. Right. You get what I mean? So like whenever you introducing your brand or telling somebody your story, I feel like you just gotta do it over and over and over again, so eventually, it just flows.
Yep. And it is like you may be nervous at the beginning, but the more that you continue to do it, like you're gonna have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yep,
sure. Like that's the biggest thing, and that's when we say those problems, like people in the real world, problems are like a bad thing. Like you like problems, oh, I got a problem, I ain't gonna be able to, it's like almost looked at as like a negative. Right. But in the business world, as an entrepreneur, a problem is gonna be looked at as like a good thing. Mm-hmm. It actually like show that you got stuff that you need to do. Because if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have problems inside of your business, probably you thinking about selling your business, you probably running another business because it's like nothing there for you to do.
Yep.
Right.
You
know
what
I mean?
And InvestFest, Diddy said on the stage, he like, even with him being a billionaire and he working on his brand called Delion, like they still having problems. You get what I mean? So it's never gonna be a time where you don't have problems. If you don't have problems in your business, you don't have a business.
Or you probably not even doing it. So
it's stagnant. It's not moving.
Yeah, I can dig that. So I mean, just from that piece alone, like I just did my first pop-up shop. It was a car meet, and like I took all the advice that I got from y'all, and it felt comfortable because it was genuine. Like I was sitting out in front of my booth, I was approachable, I was wearing my gear. And people were like, oh, I seen that around town, So it opened up the gates for me to kind of explain myself, and I gained a couple more followers after that. My thing is, how do y'all pick and choose? Do y'all pick and choose the venues that y'all go to? Because I'm sure your World Envision get hit up a lot. Like, hey, come to this event. And there's only so many places y'all can be, right? So how do y'all pick and how do y'all rank?
I understand. For us, it's like either we already done it or we doing market research. And what I mean by market research is that could be like seeing it on somebody, like actually seeing it, hearing about it, talking to people like what results you did there. Or like that could just be us, like somebody doing something new, like Atlanta Streetwear Market came about. So like we go there, we go to the event, see what it's like, see if it's something that we actually can do, like we attend it ourselves. And then we'll be like, yeah, there's something that a place where we want to have our brand, a place where we want to continue to do things. And then from there, it's just like you build a roster of things that happen every single year. Like they have those, Magic Trade Show is 3 times a year. We gonna be there. You know what I mean? Essence Fest is 1 time a year. We gonna be there. InvestFest is 1 time a year. We gonna be there every single time. It's already on the calendar. So after we continue to do it for years and years and years, you really build almost like a sort of a routine on where you're gonna be. All right, if you're going somewhere, let's just talk about it from like a smaller level. If you're going and you're doing pop-up shops like at your local markets or whatnot, like, and you see yourself, let's say, making $5,000 or $1,000 a weekend, like, go there every single weekend. Mm-hmm. Like, go build that data, and then because that's where you're making money. So then you also, while you making money there, you also look for other things, and then you go try those things. You don't like go to this pop-up shop, stop, oh, it was a hit. I had a hit pop-up shop.
And then look for the next hit. You keep doing that one, and then you build on, you always do that one thing and you build on top of it. Like, and then another thing that I learned from being at these events, you start to see some of the familiar faces. Whenever you're doing the same events, you see familiar faces, and what you do from there is you network with those people and you build a relationship with those people because they're doing the same thing that you're doing, finding pop-ups. So you you look for the people that you continuously seen in these same venues, and then now you're able to text them, call them, and be like, yo, what pop-ups you got on the list? Now you just build out a list. You build out a list. Every pop-up that you do, write it down on the list, put it on the list, and you start building it out from there. And that's how you build out your whole year. Because it's going to keep repeating every year. Like, it's not like it's going to happen one time and it's not going to happen again. Like, the most successful pop-ups that we ever done, it happens every single year. So once you build out your list for the whole year, you could just keep duplicating that list every single year from now on.
Yep. And I got a question. Like, honestly, like, what is the toughest thing for like getting started, really running your brand? Like, what's something that like keep you like up at night? Like, I can't figure this out. Like, what is it?
Keeps me up at night. A lot. Like, I want to be successful so bad. Like, I want my brand to grow. I want my brand to be the biggest thing ever. I want my brand to be known worldwide. So it's like, I get stuck on like, all right, I know I got to start local, but what if my area that I'm in right now in Panama City, they're still rebuilding from the hurricane, so there's really not too much going on. And the nearest, I guess, hot spot would be like Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach, that area. How do I take over my area is the biggest thing that keeps me up at night if there's nothing really going on.
Okay, cool. And the advice that like we have for that would be like, you have to look at it in two different perspectives. Like, you have to look at it from a smaller perspective, macro and micro. So a smaller perspective and a bigger perspective. And the smaller perspective of the thing is you need to be out making your presence felt. Like, they need to be able to feel your presence where you at no matter what you're doing, because you could be, like I said, whatever your mission, if it is to help people become trillionaires, in what way you help people become trillionaires, you do that on a consistent basis. Now, when you actually start doing things that doesn't wrap your brand just around the product, now you have some other stuff to start creating content about. So now you can mix in creating content with, impactful stuff along with your product. And now through content, you're gonna be able to use that to get your reach to a larger audience. So you don't have to leave where you are to reach a larger base, but you need to make an impact where you are and use content to enhance that, to get it to other people to see it, to say, hey, I wanna support this person. And then as your brand continues to grow, you're gonna be able to continue to go to these different places. It's gonna grow in that area. But like, you have to make an impact just like in your space, right where you at, no matter where you at. Even if you say you want to pick up and move, 100 miles to the left and 100 miles to the right, you need to make an impact 100 miles to the left and 100 miles to the right and make your presence felt, and then use content to enhance that presence of what you're doing.
Yeah, and just to build on top of what Marlon's saying, it's like you only can control what you control. So like, the same problem that you having is probably hundreds of thousands of brands having the same problem. And that's a way right there for you to be able to get in the space and get your brand known, because like, of course, everybody want to have the most successful, biggest brand in the world. Now you got to determine what does that consist of, because success to you can be making $1 million a year. Success to somebody else can be making $1 billion a year. You get what I mean? So like, you got to determine what that is for your brand, and then you got to reverse engineer from there. But at the end of the day, you got to start where we all started at, which is at least selling your first 50 tees. Yeah. Like, there's no point of thinking about making $1 billion if like you can't even sell 50 tees in your area, or if you can't even sell 5 tees in your area. So that's a way right there for you to start creating content, because content is gonna be the way that the world know about you. No matter what, if you're in a small area, you could be in the smallest town ever, but if you're able to know how to create content, the whole world can know about you, right? Sure. So with that being said, it's like, you could create content saying, yo, like, I'm in the smallest town ever, it's only 10,000 people here, you get what I mean? Yeah, but I'm about to go out and try to make my first 10 sales today. Come with me on this journey to make 10 sales. You get what I mean? Now you're recording the rejections, you're recording the people accepting the offer, you get what I mean? Yeah. And now from there, you're able to build your brand because you create content to get to the world, because remember, online can have your brand around the world. Yeah. So if you'll be doing 2 things at once. You'll be creating content for the world, but then you'll be also making sales in your area. Yep. So like, that's the stuff that you could actually do yourself. Yep. You get what I mean? You gotta focus on things that you can do.
Yep. The main thing niggas just saying, like, figure out a way to like give value. Like whether like it could be something that you totally doing bro, you could be like detailing the hell out of cars. But and you rocking your brand, and then in a mix of you showing the detail of these cars, you hop on there, give a quick message. Or maybe some people, bro, they got so many car lovers that if you really whooping the car up, you whooping up Lamborghinis and stuff, you gonna attract people. You need attention. And then through attention, you're gonna be able to now funnel that attention to your different products that you have. All right, and with the message, like now that you got attention, then you have a strong message. Now it's like it's a no-brainer on why I shouldn't support you. You get me? So you literally you just find a way to add value. Find what people like, add value to their life.
For sure, man. Y'all dropping gems.
Hey, I bet it's gonna be some people that come DM you or message you or follow you and say, hey, I like your story that you share. Like they like the Trillionaire brand, but they gonna love the story even more, and that's what's gonna allow them to connect with the Trillionaire brand.
For sure, and I appreciate that, man.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Hey, we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, run us up. Hey, this was crazy, man. This was really crazy, and I appreciate you. Hey, before we leave here, do you got anything you want to tell the audience? How can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Trillionaire Trip, and on Instagram for Trillionaires Only, Trillionaires_only1.
That's gonna make sure we drop that on the video.
Yep, drop that on the video. Nick, leave us off with a banger, man. What you got? Like, what should they have taken away from this video, and what should they be applying?
And just like we always talk about, look, y'all able to get access to the room that we in, right? So just like the video that we did with God is Dope, when we was on the other side of this, right? This was Sherrod, that was us, right? And we was asking those questions, trying to really figure it out. But at the end of the day, what we did was we took the advice and we actually went out there and did it. There's a lot of people who are doing these two things. You either hearing or you listening, all right? The people that's listening, they gonna actually go out there and do it. The people that's just hearing it, they not gonna do nothing because they wanna do it the way that they wanna do it. But we trying to tell you, this is the way that you should go about doing it because we have the same exact problems as you, right? Don't go get advice, like Marlon always say, don't go get advice from a lawyer if you want to be a clothing brand owner, right? You're in a room right now with $1 million clothing brand owners. So take this advice and actually do something with it.
Hey, ask that lawyer how to work this, go work those contracts. That's what you need to be asking them. But if you want to learn how to sell this product, move this merchandise, you better be inside that next workshop and we're gonna see you.
Appreciate y'all.